So today guys, we're going to have a look at all the best SMG class builds in Black Ops 7. I have previously done it for the assault rifles and you guys seem to enjoy it. Now as you're aware, we've had a recent update on all the SMGs in Black Ops 7 because let's be honest, they're not that great. So we're going to have a look at each individual weapon and what you guys need to use to have a lot more fun with them. So if you do enjoy today's video, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a single video here on the channel. So we're going to look at the Raiden 45k. We're literally going to go in order on each weapon that you unlock, and in terms of everything else, my perks are basically Flat Jacket, Tech Mask, Cold Blooded, and Bankroll. I have been playing Nuketown a lot lately, so that's kind of what I've been sitting with. The secondary, I'm now just using the pistols to get my headshots. I've got the melee with the knife, assault pack with lucky ammo 1, so we get additional score on kills to get our score streaks faster. Then we use stim shot and a semtech. So for the Raiden, we are going to use my favorite sight in the game, which is the Tools Elo, and then for the muzzle, we are going to use the compensator because this weapon has a lot of recoil. This is going to improve your recoil massively. For the barrel, because this weapon has bad damage range, we have gone for the long barrel. And then magazine, like I've said in many class out videos since the launch of this game, in modern era Call of Duties, you need to have maximum amount of ammo, hence I've gone for the 40 round extended mag. So then we have got the recoil springs on there as well, so the recoil sync unit just to get rid of any additional recoil because this weapon does have a fair bit of bounce. So then next up, we are going to have a look at the submachine gun RK9. I quite like this one. In fact, believe it or not, as a lot of you viewers will notice, I use the Tools Elo on every weapon. This one I kind of like the iron sights and I don't know why. So there's no optic on this weapon, but we have gone for the monolithic suppressor to keep off the minimap and increase that bullet velocity and damage range because it is very, very poor. For the barrel, we have decided to go ahead and use the Bowen Cerium barrel. This will also increase your damage range and bullet velocity. Like I said, the damage range and bullet velocity on this is not very great, so I've had to try and tinker with it to make it the strongest and powerfulest it can be. Next up, once again, we're using the 40 round mag. As mentioned, it is essential. And then for the rear grip, we are going to use the stabilization grip, so the Vega precision grip. This will increase that recoil control massively alongside the recoil springs as well, because there is a bit of bounce on this weapon. And if you do want to improve your aiming game, you can check out Control Freaks. I'll leave a link down below, or you can use the code Floppy Penguin at checkout to get yourself a cheeky little discount. So the next weapon, guys, is going to be arguably the best SMG on the game and probably my favorite weapon in the game currently at the minute, and that is the Dravec 45. Now this weapon is an absolute beast. I am using the authorized destroyer variant of it, and in all fairness, it doesn't make a difference which variant you use. This weapon is very, very good. So we are going back to having a sight on this weapon, believe it or not, and we are going to be using my favorite sight, which is obviously the Tools Elo. Then we are going to use the monolithic suppressor to keep us off the map, but also get better range and bullet velocity as well. We don't need a barrel on this because the weapon is pretty good, and because you've got the monolithic suppressor on there, that's going to help with that. And we do have the 48 round magazine, so we've got plenty of ammo there. And believe it or not, there's no cons for having a bigger mag size on this, which is brilliant. And then we do have the quick arm grip, so we can ADS a lot quicker and jump in aim down sight speed. And then we also have the stock of endurance LD6 stock. Literally the only attachments I have changed really from what the custom build is, the blueprint build is. I've added an optic, I've added a muzzle, and taken away the barrel. That's the only changes I have made from what you would actually have from the standard blueprint. So for the next weapon then, we are going to be using the Razor 9mm. Now the Razor 9mm is not a bad weapon at all, in all fairness. I quite enjoy using this. I am actually doing my diamond snipers so I am actually going for my diamond SMGs at the minute, and I found this really fun to use. So for the optic, once again, we have gone for the Lethal Tools Elo, and then for the muzzle, we have gone for the compensator because there's a bit of recoil on this weapon, so we've gone for the H9mm precision comp. Like I say, it will increase that vertical recoil control. In terms of barrels, I've gone for the Synthesis barrel 9.5 inch. Once again, this weapon, like most SMGs, are not brilliant at range, so we want to make sure we're getting the maximum amount of damage, especially at that medium range as well, to get those kills. We've also got the 40 round mag on this. Like I've said multiple times now in today's video, it is 100% essential that you have the maximum amount of ammo. If you are running around on Nuketown, you're going to find yourself reloading too often. You don't want to be doing that. You want to make sure you're in those gunfights and winning those gunfights as much as you possibly can. And then lastly, we have got the recoil springs on this just because it does have a bit of a kick on it, so we just want to make sure we've polished up on any additional recoil that is there. So the Carbon 57 took me by surprise. I did quite enjoy using this weapon when I've been been playing with it, and I really like the iron sights. It reminds me a lot like the MP5, and if you guys remember, the MP5 was a very solid weapon, and most people pretty much use the iron sights on it as well because they are nice iron sights. In terms of attachments, guys, we have gone for the monolithic suppressor just to increase that bullet velocity and damage range, but also keep us off the minimap. Like I've mentioned in multiple times, we do like to keep stealthy and hidden as much as possible. For your barrel, you want to make sure you are using the hybrid barrel, so we increase that damage range and bullet velocity. It does literally combine perfectly with the monolithic suppressor, so we get as much range and damage firepower going forward. Now, I have noticed this weapon does have a bit of movement speed problems. Bear in mind it's an SMG, so for the underbarrel, I decided to go for the Sapper Guard hand stop. It does increase the horizontal recoil control, sprint movement speed, and movement speed as well. For the stock, I decided to go for the control stock because the let's be honest, the vertical recoil control, like a lot of weapons in this game, have got really bad upwards recoil. Vertical recoil is really bad, so I have decided to go ahead and put the heavy bound pad on there for the stock. So then lastly, we have gone once again for the recoil springs. You'll find that this is one of my favorite attachments as well, because I like to try and minimize as much recoil on any weapon as I possibly can. And then for the sixth and final SMG, the MPC, this weapon is meant to be the MC, and they have absolutely tarnished the weapon. Now, you will need to have the full amount of attachments, so you will need gunfighter to use this weapon on any match really, because the recoil is pretty bad. It's upset me that they've destroyed this weapon, but it is very powerful. If you can hit your target and manage that recoil, it is a very powerful weapon. So once again, lethal tools elo is going to be our optic. For the compensator, we are using the KNS compensator. I mean, for the muzzle, we are using the KNS compensator to get rid of some vertical recoil control there. You get a +3 increase on that. Then we're going to use the hybrid barrel, so that'll literally improve our damage range and bullet velocity. Under barrel, we're going to use the quick step foregrip just to increase that aim walking movement speed, and hip fire movement speed. You want to make sure you are moving very agile and very fast and very smoothly with this weapon, because like I said, it does pack a punch once you do hit the target. Magazine, once again, we're going to go for that extended mag, so we're going to have the 40 round mag on there. Rear grip, we're going to go for the photonic adaptive grip. This will increase your dive to fire speed, slide to fire speed, ADS speed, and jumping aim down sight speed. You're going to find yourself rushing a lot with this weapon. It's so fun to use. And then for the stock, we're going to use the Medusa stock. Increases that vertical recoil control and horizontal recoil control. It does take a bit off your ADS and your aim walking movement speed, but we've got more than enough attachments on there to counterbalance that and still come out on the positive with the terms of accuracy and handling. And then lastly, we are going to use the recoil sync unit, so the recoil springs, just to polish off any remaining kind of recoil we may have on the weapon. But if you have enjoyed today's video, guys, drop a like. That is all the class setups I would use for the SMGs currently. If you've got any questions about any of them, or you don't want to use them and you've got a better loadout option, comment it down below. I will try it, and also it's nice for the community to work together and find the best loadouts to have fun. Like I say, if you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop that like button, subscribe if you're new, but as always, I'll catch you on the next video.